nationalism, a healthy societal value, which brings communities together and unites people for a common goal. Unless you do too much of it, then it does the opposite. That's why today we're playing as Prussia, a completely average European country with nothing special going on.
No, you can't read my poker face!
But the real question is, can we use the power of nationalism to create one of my favorite countries, the pan-European nation of independent states? Or is this all just an elaborate excuse to shoot at minorities?
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious. Other times it can be more obscure or esoteric.
Let's find out. And of course we are ruled by our king, Friedrich Wilhelm von Hohenzollern. We absolutely have to get rid of him. Remember guys, only absolute losers keep the monarchy all the way to the end of the game. Of course we have our very own faction, Zollverein, which is something in German, effectively foreshadowing our attempt to unify the German peoples. Remember kids, always dress for the job you want. For example, we have our very own company, Friedrich Krupp, with their executive, Alfred Krupp, who can make Krupp guns. What unbridled creativity! This guy clearly wants to be an artist. I mean, the first step into becoming a famous painter is creating a profitable and self-sustaining business. Let's be realistic, not everyone can simply get accepted into art school. You certainly must have other options. We should definitely start with a dedicated police force. And there it is, the brand new reworked German national identity. It seems that we have to get like 10 more fervor for North and South Germans. That doesn't seem very difficult. Of course we have to free Schleswig and Holstein, and Denmark backs down. Yeah, that makes sense. What kind of an idiot would resist the Prussians? I mean, if they did, I'd probably call the Austrians for help, and then they'll back down. Surely. Now of course we have to address the Switzerlandian question. They keep sending these evil foreign agents to our country to spread evil foreign propaganda. Be aware! Foreign agents double the size of their penis, allowing them to mislead local women of how the real male body looks like, making them more susceptible to their lies. Switzerland backs down. Whew, that was a close one. I almost broke international law. And of course we have to make Sardinia-Piedmont our protectorate. We've already set an international precedent that bullying other countries into your faction is okay. They back down. Finally, we have 27 member states. Damn, I'm good. How do I do it? And we're going to get the company principle, so we can get 10% more company throughput. I have someone out there who needs to have a profitable business to follow his dreams. Follow your dreams, kids, so long as you have a stable financial base. And we've been invited to London to decide the fate of Belgium and the Netherlands. And Miss Krupp's first painting reveal. Preposterous. We have a dedicated police force. We should also get a secret police force, allowing us to hunt down evil foreign agents. Remember guys, if you wanna become a good foreign agent and double the size of your penis, you can always join the membership. Also, if your penis size doesn't change, it means it's big enough and you should believe in yourself. Now we do have a pretty big German national movement, which seems pretty liberal and a little bit racist. Russia wants to make a trade deal. Sure, I'm not going to tariff wood. In exchange, I would like some wood. Remember guys, being dependent on Russia for raw materials is a great idea and can never backfire. We finally researched nationalism, which will allow us to send foreign agents into Austria, spreading separatist sentiments across all of their minorities, which will definitely help us form Germany. Or it will merely set a dangerous international precedent that spreading foreign propaganda is acceptable. Joint stocks, that's not what I've been researching. Anyway, I guess we can get the generic coal company. God's a witness, we're gonna be needing some coal. Hanover and Sweden are ready to join the faction. Good God, that's pretty big. And it's time for us to get yet another company. At this point, I'm going to get the chair company. I honestly never get it, and personally, I like chairs. Holstein is also ready to join us, and we have a secret police. I also noticed I actually gave political concession to the intelligentsia twice. Anyway, we should get colonial resettlement and also add the intelligentsia to the government so I can give them more political concessions. Additionally, we're going to upgrade our holy alliance with Austria. Instead of a defensive pact, we shall link our economies together, ensuring future cooperation between our nations, a commitment towards common development and peaceful coexistence. The springtime of the peoples, alright, we can finally support the radical movement. Hungary's fighting for their independence, I'll help you, so long as I get German leadership. censorship. I don't think that's a thing anymore. Alright then, I'll help them for Bohemia. Now we are setting a dangerous international precedent of ignoring previous commitments and opportunistically stabbing your neighbors in the back. But I can't just sit here and observe the situation as it develops. That would be an even more dangerous international precedent. A revolution for universal suffrage. Unfortunately, we can't afford a civil war right now. So we're gonna get universal suffrage, right of assembly, and a national guard. This does mean that we lost our double intelligentsia buff. And we do get colonial resettlement. We should definitely focus on a parliamentary republic. The Conservative Party managed to win. However, we can form a grand coalition, which is desperately needed. We're losing the war with Austria. We probably should have spent more money on defense. We've arrested the king. Alright, citizen Friedrich, your gross hobby of setting dangerous international precedents ends here. And now we have a parliamentary republic with our very first chancellor, Wilhelm Grimm. He'll get us out of this mess, surely. And we've accomplished the German national awakening. There you go, guys. Murdering South Germans with North Germans is an effective strategy to bring all the German peoples together. What can I say, guys? As a Balkan man, I'm simply an expert at nationalism. Also, we do have to fight for German leadership. I guess I jumped the gun a bit. I'm sorry, guys. I was really thinking of Krupp and his weapons business. Anyway, we're gonna have to stop the war for now. And the Polish are rebelling. They are demanding cultural exclusion, which means we have to focus on homesteading and give some political concessions to the industrialists and intelligentsia. The Polish are in an open revolt. Oh my god, how could this happen? It's probably evil foreign propaganda. Clearly. I mean, the British are also falling apart, but not as much as Austria. Jesus. God bless foreign propaganda. Speaking of God, we should definitely get thorough separation in order to give political concession to the industrialists. We shut up the Poles and just look at the political reforms go. We should also get free trade and political concessions. That's the heart of democracy. Promise. Bavaria is going to give us an obligation if we help them crush their radical revolt. As a radical, of course I'll help. I don't have any morals. Classic democracy. Hey, what just happened? We completed the North German Federation. Oh, I get it. Austria is no longer a great power. Hilarious. And finally, we'll be able to conquer the world market. Obviously, I have to help Krupp be more profitable by enacting laissez-faire. Naturally, we have to give some political concessions. This is a democracy. You can't just do whatever you want. Austria definitely lost big. And Krupp managed to design his famous gun. He's also the second largest producer. Oh my god, guys. At this rate, he'll be able to start painting in like 20 years. Obviously, I'm going to help him by getting military industry 3 and focus our faction from internal trade to external trade. Remember, guys, conquering the world market is the first step into becoming a world famous painter. And it's time for free and fair elections. Oh my god, they're neck and neck. But I'm confident that the free-minded People's Party has every chance to win. A coup? Stupid Junkers, this isn't how you democracy. As for Albrecht von Roon, you're fired. And the chance for the coup to be successful is 50-50. Damn it, now we have a secret police. And we have a brand new chancellor, Alfred Friedhaber von Eberstein. That's not how democracy is supposed to go. It seems that we're stuck with this government for now. Alright then, we're going to enact censorship and get some well-deserved political concessions. Book burnings, how about state-sponsored book burnings? Classic German 40s. Am I right, guys? And the Free-Minded People's Party, shut up the Poles. The political Poles. And we have a brand new chancellor, August von der Heydt, who really seems to hate the idea of censorship, so it's gonna be a 50-50. Unfortunately, we can't form Germany because we need one more state. Clearly, Bohemia is blocking us, which is something Chancellor von der Heydt really hates. So we're gonna make them our protectorate. Obviously, we also have to subjugate Bavaria, because after hearing our plans for Bohemia, they said something like 9999. Personally, I hated that. Legislative graveyard, damn it. We can focus on laissez-faire. I'm desperate for some more political concessions, and we managed to win Bohemian and Bavarian support. While we have 10 members, we should definitely get creative legislature, because I'm willing to get creative with my legislature. Hey, wait a minute, the Czechs don't get a vote in the formation of Germany, then why do I need them to form Germany? I guess I have to lower their autonomy, but for the record, I hate that. Finally, we managed to increase the circulation of money at the rate of 12.5% per year. Classic August von der Heydt, am I right, guys? And just just look at those political concessions. Now that's the clout I'm talking about. Another election cycle, and it seems that we have the Agrarian League. Obviously, I am confident in the fairness of our electoral system, and the Agrarian League managed to win, and they seem to want to form a coalition with the Conservatives. This means we have a brand new Chancellor, Rudolf Lederer. Now obviously we have to find the middle ground between the authoritarian Junkers and the liberal intelligentsia. But that's easy, we simply have to enact a technocracy. Is this a centrist government or what? And by lowering Bohemia's autonomy, it is finally time to click the button and form Germany. This is a great victory for the German people. Oh crap, Württemberg decided not to join. The liberal movement is rebelling. Listen guys, we can think this through. All we have to do is get some political concessions. Oh my god, stylish furniture. In your face, Sweden. Germany has the superior chairs. Reform at gunpoint. The petite bourgeoisie demands cultural exclusion. Well, this sucks. I was hoping we could change our citizenship law from we're the best in the world to when aliens created humans, they gave us the right to rule over everyone. We built the pyramids, and now when the aliens are gone, it is our duty to conquer the planet, subjugate all other peoples, and build more pyramids. Level of nationalism. Unfortunately, we have to go with the yeah, we are right level of nationalism for now. But just in case some of you guys don't feel German enough, we're going to invade Belgium. Damn it, Spain. France was just about to join. It would have been so much more German. Unfortunate. Another election cycle, and it seems that the trade unions have joined the Agrarian League. Obviously, we kicked the Spanish out of Belgium, and the Agrarian League managed to win. 4 more years for Chancellor Rudolf Lederer, and it seems that technocracy lost its support. What can I say guys? The Germans love their democracy. We managed to defeat Belgium, and it seems that Spain wants investment rights in Sardinia Piedmont. That's perfectly acceptable. Denmark is ready to join. Wait a minute, they don't want to join. Well, alright then, I shall stop guaranteeing their independence, because just like Württemberg, Denmark chooses to be invaded. And I'm willing to fight Austria and Brazil, because Brazil is a great power. They have 1,700 army power, whilst we only have 10,000. Yeah, I think we'll be alright. Oh crap, we're running out of bullets, and it seems that we have to double the world production. Oh my god guys, help me. I accidentally stumbled into an absolute military hegemony. Now I know what you guys are thinking.
Time to unleash the beast.
But leveraging our military strength is against international norms, and I want to feel like I live in Germany and not some backwater country. We don't even have a public health insurance. What is this? China? Talk about Austria. Am I right guys? Alright, it's time for us to invade Denmark. They back down, and the faction is really big now. It's practically the biggest one you've ever seen. We also have a brand new chancellor, Johann Rauscher, a man of tradition, which means it's time for us to meddle in the Balkans or invade the Middle East. Luckily for us, Johann isn't a mediocre man. He can do both at the same time. Also, I'm going to get military access from Russia and use the invasion mechanic for the very first time. I honestly forgot it existed. Alright boys, it's time for you to walk through Russia and invade the Balkans. Hey, wait a minute. The Russians are giving the Ottomans military access. What a terrible day to be Polish. Even more elections. And it seems that the Agrarian League shut up the polls. We also have the Progressive Party. What a decisive victory for Johann. It's time for us to get some tax reforms. Remember guys, if you want to win free and fair elections, you have to invade the Balkans and the Middle East at the same time. There you go guys, we managed to free Bulgaria, Albania and Iraq. Also, all of the Ottoman subjects are under our management because we're the good guys. And just look at that investment pool. We desperately need more construction. Exciting tax reforms. Well, not as exciting as dominating the world market. We only need to import agricultural products. Unlike countries like Russia, we simply don't have the real estate for plantations. But can you imagine if we did? We would be unstoppable. The Ottomans are attacking Austria. Unfortunately, we have a truce with both of them, so we're going to have to intently observe the situation as it develops. Another election cycle, and it seems that the free-minded People's Party shut up the polls. Who could have seen that coming? Mutual funds. Finally, we can use real estate as a speculative asset on the stock market. My favorite. it. And the Agrarian League managed to win, but not by much. So we have a brand new chancellor, Friedrich von Koromua. Austria lost again. Alright, this is making me so irrationally angry. Like that one time my high school crush said, "Excuse me, could you move?" And I used that as justification to convince myself that I have a chance for 4 years. I simply have to invade France. Am I running a Germany or what? And Bulgaria is going to join our faction willingly, just like everyone else. Austria is a minor. Alright then, mate, you did your best. It's time to give up. Man, if only there was someone to tell me that when I was a teenager, it would have saved me a lot of humiliation. Alright, France, I'm not gonna humiliate you. I shall merely put you in a wheelchair. It's almost the same thing. And Britain joined last moment. Bastards. Although realistically, I don't think anyone's coming to stop us. Damn, the aliens were right this whole time. Also, God bless creative legislature. This does mean we can get a more legitimate government, and we have a brand new chancellor, Rupert von Hauket. Wait a minute, the Agrarian League are a bunch of corporationists, allowing us to get a corporate state. We just need some political concessions. Alright Austria, you might be a complete and absolute loser, but from now on, you'll be in the biggest faction, and girls will definitely want to talk to you. Promise. Japan wants a trade deal. That seems like a pretty good business opportunity. And we're all about business here. Remember guys, with good big business, we can make Europe great again. I just have to lower Austria's autonomy. Another election cycle. Remember guys, the previous elections were stolen from us, but not this time. With Chancellor Rupert, we'll have free and fair elections. The Agrarian League managed to win. Finally, Chancellor Rupert can enact the changes we desperately need. And it seems that the French are protesting even though they have what they want. Classic French. Also, it's time for us to invade Schleswig. You know why? Of course you do. You pay attention to our foreign policy. I'm sure of it. And of course, Japan is willing to vouch for us, lowering our infamy. Remember guys, we always follow international. They reject it, just like my high school crush. This makes me so irrationally angry. I'll kill you for this and subjugate your entire country. Finally, a political system where every citizen gets to belong to a certain corporate group and fight for dominance on the political battlefield. Every citizen gets to be a part of a certain interest group, also known as lobby groups or pressure groups, usually divided by economic sector, such as agricultural, labor, military, business, or science. A perfect political system where everyone knows their place, just like Snowpiercer, or the famous paradox game Victoria 3. The game already works like this. Japan backed down, a wise choice. But real talk for a second, is this just a fascist simulator game, pretending to be Marxist propaganda? Speaking of Marxist, we need corporatized unions. And now we're going to lower Austria's autonomy. Wait a minute, we inherited Hungary's personal union, but we're not a monarchy. How does that even work? Anyway, it's time for us to click the Anschluss button. Remember guys, annexing Austria is the 5th step into becoming a famous painter. And we finally have Central Europe. Also, we have Gesundheit. And the economy is booming. Classic Europe. We did lose Hungary, and Bulgaria lost its civil war. Just like I lost my crush to a tall and handsome guy. This makes me so irrationally angry. It's time to invade East Galicia. We also have to take care of some Tunisian terrorists. Russia wants a trade deal. No. I'm honestly starting to rethink this whole Russian government squatting on my plantation land. We also have to invade Bulgaria. Exciting union reforms. And of course, we need exciting tax reforms. Everyone's favorite reforms. You know, the exciting ones. And now we have the SPD. Also, I just noticed we have 46% turnout. Now that's what I call exciting elections. Nothing else is happening, by the way. It's just, you know, the elections. Oh no, the economy is stagnating. And here I was thinking that my economic plan of spamming cow farms would save the day. Was I wrong? Just like that one time, I decided to believe in myself and ask her out. This makes me so irrationally angry. I simply have to invade a random neighboring country. It's all their fault. The Agrarian League managed to win. Obviously. Have you seen their cow expansion plan? It's huge. And after we successfully annex Aquitania, our economy is back on track. Emulsifying foreign countries, the fascist way of fixing the economy. I mean, extorting countries like Japan also helps. Alright, it's time for us to take the Hudson Bay Company. In fact, we're going to take every British colony. They're only 2 infamy each, which means we can be the largest faction on the planet and not even break international norms. We can use our massive navy to take over London in no time. What are they gonna do about it? They back down. Damn it, foiled again. But that gives us plenty of time for some Farrakas in Caracas and take over the Netherlands. Finally, fair taxes. And just look at that, chunky Brazil. The Netherlands surrenders, and it's finally official. We run Venezuela now. But I know what you guys are thinking. How about the economy? We're actually top exporter. Just look at that big trade surplus. However, I'm starting to think that we are transforming ourselves into the United States, whose economy is 90% massive corporations. On the other hand, Europe's economy is 80% small and medium businesses, which means we have to stop with this neoliberal nonsense and get a proper economic system which benefits average citizens. We should probably use all of this investment pool in the meantime. What the dickens? The Ottomans are attacking my Bulgaria. When I was in high school, there was this younger teacher, and one day she told me to see her after class. Then she started giving me some random advice like I should have more confidence and put myself out there a bit more. It seems that someone told the Ottomans that, and they actually believed them. What a bunch of idiots. Remember guys, teachers get paid the same amount, even if they don't teach you right, give you useless advice, or miss a perfectly good opportunity to seduce a 7th grader. Don't teachers watch adult movies? Man, the education system is really going to shit, just like the Ottomans. This of course allows us to embargo Hungary. Wait, they already declared bankruptcy. Well, I'm not about to miss this golden opportunity. What am I, a 7th grade music teacher? Finally, ma and pa shops are saved from the evil corporations. Even more elections, the Russians. Now I know what you guys are thinking. We seem to be going slightly above the EU recommended 3% deficit. However, I firmly believe that we need old age pensions. Oh crap, Gesundheit has ended, and we can blame evil neoliberal economics or predatory agents. Oh my god, that's my 2 favorite things to blame. This is an impossible choice. I feel like my high school crush who had to choose between me and the tall handsome bloke she actually chose. Well, personally, I choose evil foreign agents. Are we fighting Russia or what? We took the Russian capital. Alright blokes, you can stop cosplaying as 7th grade teachers and actually do something meaningful in your career. Also, there's some random communists pretending to be a real country, so we're gonna have to invade them. Now this might set a dangerous international precedent of you can invade other countries so long as you pretend they're not real. But that doesn't matter because we have old age pensions, my wildest fantasy. Russia gave up, proving that we are the biggest faction. Also, Greece is willing to join, and for the record, I will bail them out if it comes to that. That's why I focused on investment banking. And I'm going to get the beef company, Brandenburg Premium Fabrics. I am taking them because of the meat, but if they're willing to use the leather to make cool leather clothes, that's perfectly acceptable. Obviously we need compulsory primary schools. I refuse to be the only one misled by the adult movie industry. Wait a minute, we can give it underfunded school supplies, public schools, and make them suck. That's what I always say. Also, I have to go and help Japan. Their adult movies never disappoint. We're pretty close to bankruptcy. Thank God we decided to underfund the school system. The economy will survive, especially if we can get some exciting tax reforms. Another election cycle, and it seems that the conservatives shut up the polls. Also, we're top exporters, and I managed to fix all of our economic issues by giving steel monopoly to the Krupp Corporation. I mean, just look at that production. Krupp can practically flood the world with steel. Not only that, but he also managed to win the elections. That's right, President Alfred Krupp is almost ready to start painting. Remember guys, the 31st step of becoming a successful painter is to win the elections and become president of your country. And of course, the 32nd step is to enact a single-party state. Eliminate all of your political enemies. Invade France. Suppress any revolutionary sentiment. France backs down. This is perfect. Now we can go shopping for paintbrushes. People usually overlook this step, but I believe it's one of the more crucial ones. And we seem to be having a boatload of protesters. But that's completely irrelevant, as we have a brand new urban project to build a brand new massive building in Vienna. It must be built in 3 phases, but by the time we're done, we'll be able to see it from space. And now I wish to address the protesters. The way that the media has, by and large, reported on this story is absolutely misrepresenting the whole situation. The headline was something like, "Outrage on the street as President Krupp attempts to steal the European democracy." Well, that's one way to put it, and many people in the media have put it that way. However, this is an attack on the European people and puts our law enforcement officers at risk every single day. Oh, look at that, guys! We got prime meat! Finally, food to stimulate the senses and calm down this whole protest situation. Wait a minute, where's my meat? Only 6% is super mega awesome prime meat. Totalitarianism, yeah, no one cares. Where's the meat? What outrage! I'm taking this problem straight to the president. Peter Kretschmar. Wait a minute, who the hell is this guy? What happened to Alfred Krupp? Hashtag not the guy I voted for. Now I wish to address all the protesters. It's alright guys, I have spoken to the president. It seems that the evil immigrants have taken it from us, so we are enacting national supremacy. Well, that calmed things down. Crap. Stinking liberals, go home. And the Agrarian League managed to win 100% of the vote. And now we have President Peter Kretschmar. Now that's the president I voted for. You know, something tells me if my high school crush didn't have a choice, she would actually choose me. This makes me so irrationally angry. We're invading the two Sicilies. Wait a minute. Why is France independent? We have a truce and everything. This doesn't make any sense. I'll definitely be back for them. But in the meantime, World War I. Even Japan is in on it. Now think about it, guys. As Pan-Europe, we have Japan, and soon we'll have Italy. Once we defeat Russia, we'll have plenty of opportunities to invade Poland, which is one of the crucial steps into becoming a famous painter. Also, we're going to build the second phase of the Kaiser form, which will be visible from space. National supremacy. Listen guys, once we build the Kaiser form, the greatest structure ever built, which will prove that the aliens chose us for a reason, then we can have a proper citizenship law. But before that, elected bureaucrats. That's right, we're caving to the demands of these stupid liberals. We shall no longer appoint the bureaucrats. They shall be elected by a list of people approved by the government, which is definitely different. Now go home already. Russia surrendered. Hello Poland and Belarus and you know the other guys. And we also run Italy now. It's beautiful. At least it would have been if France wasn't so stupid. Finally, elected bureaucrats. Now I know you guys are probably noticing the mass political suppressions going on. In order to address this, we're going to have outlawed dissent. Wait, no one wants this. Hang on a minute, I just noticed. Our president, Peter Kretschmar, is the most woke liberal ever. How did you even get this job? See that guys? The system works. Alright, now we can add the finishing touches and paint the form in gold. Oh, aliens love gold? It's common knowledge. Now this will allow us to build the final stage. We're also invading Ukraine because the aliens told me to. Additionally, we're subjugating the Ottomans as well. God, I love the aliens. They always give the best advice. Undeniable victory after undeniable victory. And just look at our faction. We're so big. Wait, Sweden left? Just like my high school crush. But that doesn't matter because we're the biggest exporters. In your face, Sweden. You could have had the biggest economy, but you're stupid. And of course, we managed to build the biggest building on the planet. Really, France? Now of all time. Just look at that huge size, immaculate girth, the radius. What am I looking at though? Oh, there it is. Of course. Haha. You know, it's not actually that big. This makes me so irrationally angry. And we're also going to get laissez-faire, so we can get the biggest corporations. Also, I'm going to get every French subject because they're a major power and I can't make them my protectorate, which makes us the biggest of rivals. And of course, this was the biggest of invasions. Just look at that massive African expansion. It does seem that I have to fix the border a little bit. Wait a minute, the Ottomans are invading Iraq. It's always nice to see evil empires change their way and become the good guys. Well, there you go guys, the largest building on the planet, visible from space. If that doesn't impress the aliens, nothing will. Alright, African borders fixed. It was easier than I expected. Just draw a bunch of straight lines and you're done. Alright guys, it's time for a massive foreign investment package, which will revitalize our allies, diversify their economies, and they'll finally be useful to the pan-European heartland. Oh no, we have Hungarian and Aquitanian protesters. Looking at the discrimination screen, I have no idea why they're complaining. Plus 35 is plenty acceptance for people like them. But perhaps I should rethink my plans to expand into countries such as Klein Venedig. I mean, what if the Kleinians start protesting? You know what I mean? Therefore, we have to enact cultural exclusion until we get a more reasonable president. As a white man living in Pan-Europe, I feel oppressed by this evil woke agenda pushed by the government. As we're patiently waiting for a different leader, we shall kill some time by killing some Belarusians and Russians. Oh, what the hell, I'll treat myself. We're invading Poland. Also, we should focus on interventionalism. I still want the biggest corporations. Peter Kretschmar has died. We have a brand new president, Egwene de Herne, a real manly man who will make Europe great again. I'm sure of it. We successfully invaded Poland and Belarus. Additionally, we're continuing to dismantle Russia. Now you might be tempted to think that we're winning by a lot. However, we need Argentina to secure our national security. We're also taking Chile. We're in the neighborhood, might as well. And I know what you guys are saying. I hear you. We just have to invade France. And of course, I have to address the obvious questions. Isn't going back to interventionism going to hurt your average pan-European, decrease standard of living, erode local communities, and it's all going to be done just to enrich a handful of individuals who will have more money and power than they know what to do with? Listen guys, I hear all of your criticism towards the government, and I don't like it. Senegal wants their independence. What? Oh my god, it's evil Russian propagandists. I knew it. Also, we can now take this little bit of Russia. It was honestly bothering me on a deep spiritual level. National security secured. France gave up and the border has been fixed. Now that's the pan-European nation of independent states I'm talking about. Finally, you guys can't say stuff like, why would your high school crush ever choose you instead of the tall handsome guy she actually chose? This makes me so irrationally angry. It's time to dismantle the United States. We're not gonna take any land directly, as that would break international norms. Alright guys, it's finally time. Pan-European people shall no longer apologize if they're white. A telephone, the greatest European invention. And we landed in Washington, but there's no front line. I would like to continue with the invasion, please. And it seems that multitude of protests are erupting all over the country. Well, this proves it. We are our greatest enemy. Like, the Americans aren't even trying. Alright guys, remember, if you see any of those pesky immigrants, simply take your phone and dial 999 to alert your local immigration authorities. They'll take care of them in no time. Also, we managed to build the Suez Canal, visible from space. The aliens would be so proud. Someone in Hungary called 999. Alright boys, get ready. It's time to shoot at minorities to keep the peace, because we're the good guys, obviously. And here comes a Ukrainian uprising, and Aquatanian, and Romanian. But that's alright guys, we'll shoot as many as it takes. Radio, finally, a reliable way to spread propaganda. We're still fighting the Americans, by the way. I kinda forgot. We're also getting women's suffrage. I love women, and they should be able to vote for the political party the government allows them to. Mass production of phones. We didn't have that much before, so plenty of immigrants managed to sneak out? In? I'm not really sure. After our heroic conquests, they were just kind of standing there. But of course, thanks to our masterful adoption of ethno-state, we no longer suffer from second-class citizens. Like there's none of them. Damn, I'm good. How do I do it? It's exactly 100. Finally, we managed to reach maximum fervor, which makes me the most successful politician in the history of ever. Having done my job all the way, it's time to indulge myself in something I wanted this whole time. Massively expanding our art galleries. From now on, everyone shall be accepted in art school. And you shall no longer have to go through all of these ridiculous steps in order to become a famous artist. If only Alfred Krupp was still alive to see the massive art industry, allowing us to be an even bigger exporter. Women can finally vote, and America gave up. What can I say guys, we defeated the world 30 years ago. But the only way to declare victory is to achieve your political goals, regardless of how many minority groups you have to crush along the way. Human casualties, material destruction, none of it matters. But remember, never set dangerous international precedents, and always search for good opportunities to intently observe the situation as it develops. Until next time.